Hey folks, welcome back to your learning journey and welcome to AI and MLOps growth rituals, folks. And this is our daily session that we have at Manifold AI Learning. This is intended for everyone in the community to take one step at a time. And I want to take that first step with you. Whether you're starting today or starting right now, I'll be there to take that first step with you so that you can progress in your MLOps career and generative AI. All right. So let's get started with today's session. Now, the topic of today's session is generative AI and LLMOps. So you might have seen news that we have got various models that we have got right now. We have got OpenAI Chat GPT, we have GPT model, we've got Google's Gemini, we have DeepSeek. So even the Alibaba Cloud have released their own generative AI model. Now, with those things that are taking in place, I mean, those are all the news to follow, which are good thing to follow. But what is important right now for everyone in our community is I want you to have a strong foundation. Now, this session is intended to give you the foundation about what exactly are these generative AI model, why so popular, and you might have also heard about the term that's called as the LLMOps, and we're going to break down what exactly is this LLMOps is. So we'll follow the same approach just like we've been doing it. So well, I'll take you through just like in a classic way so that you'll understand in a very simple way as what exactly is it all about. So that when you're going through the news or when you're working in your project, you know what exactly it is. Okay, so let's get started. Now here, let's begin with the basic thing about the generative AI. What exactly is this generative AI? So, here, when we talk about this generative AI, so generative AI, you can think of it as a system where it has learned the pattern from a huge text, from a huge corpus of text. It has learned the pattern that we have got, and then when we ask a question, it is able to generate the answers based on the data that has been used. Which means, let's go back to our previous scenario about the machine learning basics. So, what we have learned at a very high level is in the case of machine learning, what happens is we'll have a data set. Okay, we'll have a data set, we'll choose the algorithm, and this algorithm is going to learn the pattern that we have got in the data set, which is basically going to give us the logic, which means that it has learned the relationship that we have got in the data set. Now, generally, we use this supervised machine learning technique on the tabular data, that is, where we have the data in the format of rows and column, and we will try to find the pattern in such data set. Now, what makes the generative AI model so special? Now, these machine learning models that we have got, we call it as a predictive model. That means once I found the logic, once I have the pattern identified that we have in this data set, I'll go ahead and send in a new data as a user and I'll be getting the output based on the logic that has been identified. Which means for the unknown data, I can generate the output, and this is what a machine learning is. Now, this output is based on the features that we have got. It cannot generate new things based on the data set. But in the case of generative AI model, it's little different. If I want to explain this generative AI model, okay, if I want to talk about this generative AI model, so here it's very different. Now, let me tell you how this is different. So, what happens is when we talk about generative AI model, we can have various modalities. That means we can have various types of data. Just for simplicity, for explanation purpose, we'll consider the text data. So what happens is in this case, of creation of such generative AI model, I'm going to get a huge corpus of text. Now, to give you the volume of this text, think of the entire Wikipedia database. So I'll use my entire Wikipedia database and I'll provide all those articles that I have got for my model for which that I want to train. So just like the machine learning model, we have got various algorithm. This generative AI model can be of various architectures. Now, it can be a transformer based architecture, or it can be encoder based, decoder based. So it's like an architecture, just like the machine learning model is an equation which learns the pattern in the data set. Think of this model architecture that we have got that has got an ability to learn the pattern that we have in the text data that we have got. So we make use of such huge corpus of data. We'll train our generative AI model. Okay. Now, once we train our generative AI model, so what we do is the best part is, let's say this is the model that have been trained using the huge corpus of text that we have got. Now, the best part is if I go ahead and provide a new input as a end user, let's say I have, okay, so let's say I'm an end user now. Now, as an end user, if I go ahead and provide an input, or basically we call it as a prompt, I'll provide a prompt, which is basically the input that I'm going to send it to this generative AI model. And the best part is it's going to generate the output. It's going to generate the output based on the training data, based on learnings from training data. It may not exactly be the training data, but based on the learnings from the training data. Like, I'll give you an instance to help you understand this. Let's say in my text data, I've got the commentary about a sports, let's say cricket sports. Okay. Let's say there's a latest World Cup that has happened. And based on that latest World Cup, I've got the summary of all the cricket matches. And that is part of my text data. And I've generated this model that I have got. Now, when the user goes and says that, hey, can you tell me who is the number one batsman in that World Cup cricket? Even though that might not be present in the context of who exactly played first or who exactly is the man of the match or something, by looking at the text data, it's able to infer who was the best player, and it is able to generate the response based on the learning from the training data. Now, this is one of the essential thing that you need to remember when we talk about the generative AI model. Here in this case, we are using the corpus of text, learning the pattern, and now when I give a new text as an input, it is generating the output based on the learnings from the training data. It may not explicitly said, but it's learning everything. It is understanding the relationship that we have got in the text data. And that's the core principle of this generative AI model. So, which means if I open up, let's say Gemini, okay, now over here, suppose if I ask as what is generative AI, now what is happening right now is this is my prompt and the Gemini Advanced 2.0 Flash, this is the model. So I'm sending this prompt to my model. And now when it is generating the response, it is generating the response based on the training data it has been trained upon. And that is what the generative AI model is. It's going to generate the response based on the data that we have fed. And which means whenever we think about building any generative AI system or using any generative AI system, we have to be very much sure and we have to be aware as what kind of data it has been used to trained on. I'll give you an example. Let's say there are two models. One model has been trained on, let's say, belonging like a data belonging to a specific country, which says that United States. And let's say we have another model, which is could be another country, let's say India. Then depending on the narrative that is mentioned in that training data, the output will be biased. There's a very high chance that the output might be biased. Let's assume that If I'm using a US model, then it might be biased towards that particular country, that particular policies. And let's say if I'm using the model of India, if the data set that I've got is skewed, and the response from that Indian model could be biased towards the India, which means the key thing to note right now from this understanding is the model's performance, the capability of generating the output is dependent on the training data that has been used. Hence, training data is one of the important element for training such generative AI model. And here, the output that will be generated is based on the learning from such training data. So this is the fundamental aspect that you need to remember about the generative AI application. Now, what is LLMOps? So let's ask this question to our generative AI model. And from there, I'll take this journey, guys. So what is LLMOps then? So when I talk about this LLMOps, it's also called as the large language model operation. Now, why is this large language model? This generative AI model is also known as the large language model. So operationalizing these generative AI models or the large language models is called as the LLM ops. So here it focuses on the practices, tools, and the techniques that are required to ensure that we are able to manage the entire life cycle of such generative AI model. And that's what the LLM ops is all about. Here, what are the key things that we'll be focusing on in the LLM ops? So in the LLM ops, we'll be focusing on the data management. Reason, the core of learning the patterns in the data set. Hence, we have to manage the data in an efficient manner. And model training and fine tuning, just like we track the model training and fine tuning of the machine learning model, various using various experimentation tool. It's also important that we track the training and the fine tuning aspect, deployment of such large language models into the production, and we'll be able to have a repeatable and then expected performance over there, and monitoring and evaluation where we can identify the issues like model drift, bias, and most importantly security and compliance. Now under this model monitoring and evaluation, we also make use of other techniques such as guardrail to monitor the input that's going into the large language model and to monitor the output that is being sent out. We can also remove toxicity, the biasness that we have got. So all those things that we'll be monitoring, which is additional to the machine learning models when we talk about this LLM ops. Okay, so that's a very high level idea about what exactly is generative AI and where is this LLM ops comes into picture. Okay, now two things that I want to really highlight before we end the session. So whatever the input that I'll be sending it as an end user is called as the prompt. And the output from the generative AI model is not exactly it may not exactly be the text that is provided in my training data, but it is based on what we have in the training data. So based on the data that we have got, it is going to generate the output, and it is going to generate the output which we are able to see. Hence, we call these models as a generative AI model, not the predictive model, but a generative AI because it is generating the new data based on the existing data. Now, depending on type of data, we also call it as modalities. So this is one common term that you might come across. So modalities is nothing but the type of input that my large language model can accept. And sometimes you will hear people talking as multimodal large language model. What it means is it's a model where it can accept the input in multiple modalities like text and image. For example, this Gemini that I've got, it can accept the text. And if I have any file like an image, it can accept the image as well. So this is an example of a multimodal large language model. In some cases, we can have a multimodal input, and in some large language models, it has got the multimodal output as well. That means some models are capable of generating the image as well as the text. And some models can be multimodal input, but I'll say an single modal output, where it can get the input from various modalities, but while generating the output, it can only generate in single modality, might be a text or a image. So this is the overall fundamentals that you need to know in your learning journey of generative AI and LLM ops.
I hope you had fun learning in this video. So folks, if you want to join live from the next session, just check out the link that is provided in the description. Join our community and I can't wait to help you in your MLOps and generative AI journey. Take care guys and I'll see you next time.